Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Reality, spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality, spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Reality, spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Get real good.
Let's get real, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington, and let me just start it off by saying I had a hell of a night. I resisted the whole evening. I went to a party with people that I hadn't seen probably in 5 years, people that I used to teach, this old gym that I used to not belong to, but I was an instructor for over 15 years. And I hadn't seen them, and I hadn't seen them for a reason, if you know what I'm saying. And, oh, my God, I spent the whole night resisting comments, their attitudes, their conversation. And I'm telling you, I felt bad the whole evening. When I say felt bad, I mean my energy was just crappy. I woke up this morning, and I had a crazy-ass dream, and I woke up this morning thinking, why? Well, if I had called into my own show, Reality Spirituality with RLN, I would have discovered that resisting reality subtracts from happiness. And that's just a little intro. Before I get into the particulars, let me share with my listeners what this show is about. Reality Spirituality, what we do every single week is dissect our everyday life experiences, everything that happens to us, all of our conversations, all of our circumstances, all of our situations, all of our events, every single moment. We dissect all of it down to the least common denominator to discover why we're not as happy as we could be. You know, I don't use the word should, but I do use the word could. Not as happy as we could be. What the hell does that even mean? Happy as we could be. Well, for my new listeners, I say and teach that we are all vibrational beings. We are energy. And I'm not teaching that. That is a fact. That's what we are. We're all energy. And so we can shift our energy. We can shift our frequency. And if your frequency is set on accepting, allowing, surrendering, knowing that everything is in order, knowing that everything happens for your betterment, knowing that that you're here to evolve and to be happy and to experience joy, knowing all of that, then you also will attract that same vibration. I mean, there is a definite feeling. There is a definite I need to take a break here. There is a definite way that I know that I can flow through every moment. And like anything else, this doesn't happen overnight. Evolving and having the ability and having the power and being able to choose my personal vibration will determine how I am going to spend not only my life, but my days and my moments. Abraham says, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. And ain't that the truth? That's all it is. It's really very simple. For whatever reason, I feel a tightness in my shoulder, or I'm just tense. I know I'm resisting. I know I'm not surrendering. I know I'm trying to be the boss. I know I'm trying to take control over what is happening. I'm trying to grab the steering wheel from the universe. Let me drive, let me drive, let me drive. And every time I do, people, audience, honeys, every time I do, I crash right into a brick wall. And last night was one of them. Let me just give you a little bit. I forgot. Big announcements, 2 big announcements, 3 big announcements. My new website is now live. You have to see it. It's gorgeous. It's www.RebeccaNorrington.com, RebeccaNorrington.com. You got to see this new website. It's so pretty. And I will be speaking live. You will be able to meet me face-to-face in San Francisco, April 5th and 6th at the Live an Extraordinary Life Conference at Fort Mason. All of the info is on my homepage. You just click on the picture of San Francisco. It's right on the ocean, and I will be there Saturday and Sunday. Saturday I'm speaking, and my topic is the importance of forgiveness. And Sunday I am conducting a 2-hour workshop. What? That's right, 2 hours. Interactive, me and you. And the workshop is only $55. Of course, you have to get your ass to San Francisco, but that's all on you. But anyway, the workshop is on Sunday, and then after that, a couple hours after that, I'll be speaking for a short time, and the title of that speech is The Blame Game. So it's going to be a whole weekend, and not only I'm speaking, there are going to be some other people there too. Some really connected spiritual people that will complement the whole weekend. It's going to be a great, great time. So I would like to invite you to that. And my book, RealitySpirituality, The Truth About Happiness, will be out, will be printed by April the 1st. I will have my books at the conference, and I will have my books. If you can't make it to the conference, you can go online and email me at info@RebeccaNorrington, and we're going to, the book is $19.95. And listen, $20 for a book that's going to change your life? Such a deal. Back to the show. As my listeners know, I have been teaching fitness, aerobics for, almost 35 years, over 30 years. And consequently, I have developed a lot of friendships, a lot of people. In fact, I would say the majority of people that, and I really don't hang out with a lot of, I really don't hang out anymore. I used to go out and socialize, and Friday night we'd go out to eat after a class, but I really don't do that anymore. So it was a big deal. One of my students, my ex-students, had a 60th birthday party. And I've been to functions at their houses before, and this is just a great setting. It's 10 minutes away from my house. I was able to see all of the people I hadn't seen in years with just, say you're bowling. You have one ball, and you just knock all the pins down in one swoop. because I had to update everyone about my book. I had to update everybody about my speaking engagements. I had to update everybody about, what's going on with them, what's going on with me. And the evening just did a flip-flop. I went there with the intention to share what I was doing, and of course, listen halfway to what's happening in their lives. Okay, did I say that out loud? Anyway, it was really interesting. So, got all dressed up, looked really cute with my new, my new ombre colored hair, dark on the inside, light on the outside. And of course, when I arrived, it's so funny. And I was fashionably late, of course. I wasn't late on purpose. I just never like to get to those type of functions on time. So I was fashionably late, and when I arrived, of course, like I said, and some people I hadn't even seen in longer than 5 years. That's a long time. To see people that I usually saw regularly every single week, day in and day out, constantly. And then when you just stop having that connection and you just disappear off the face of the earth, which is what I did, it was a little excitement going there. I was excited to see everyone for a second. I walk in, and of course it's like the Red Sea parted. Now, for people that know me, I'm telling a story. I do not pretend to have any kind of I'm better than you energy. I definitely have a I'm different than you energy, but I'm better than you energy. No, I don't have that. And I see that there's a couple of callers, and I'm going to get to you in less than 3 minutes. But let me just finish this point. So everyone was very excited to see me, and I hugged, greeted everyone. But the truth is, I'm different. The truth is, I've outgrown some people in my life that I used to hang out with all the time. And that's just life. It's no judgment. I'm not better. It's just I've outgrown people. It's not that I don't like them, but it's like spending a whole evening with. No, I don't even want to say that. That wouldn't even be good to say. But it's spending evenings with about 60 people that you have nothing in common with. There you go. That's what it's like. It's spending an evening with 60 people I have nothing in common with. And the whole night, most of the night, was spent resisting their comments. What did they talk about? Why are you talking about this? And all of these questions and all of these thoughts, kept going through my head every time I spoke with someone new. Spoke with someone different, I should say, that I hadn't seen. And it was the same questions. I mean, it was like I never left that environment. It's like I stepped out and I left for 5 years, but I came back and everything was the same. And everything was the same to them, but I'm different. But this is what I struggled with. I struggled with the fact of accepting that 50 to 60 people that I used to hang out with all the time are still talking about the same things. Now, again, I teach, I preach that it's never about the other person. But what I did was I wasn't accepting of their conversation. Let me give you an example, because I don't like to be general. My son lives in New York, and I got a lot of, how is Nathan surviving the bad weather in New York? Isn't he? How is he able to? Go? Is he having problems? And of course, last week there was a huge explosion in one of the buildings in New York. I think it was an older building, six stories. It was a brick building, and there was a gas leak. I digress, but it was a lot of questions about my son, and yes, people are concerned, and yes, people want to hear. They want to hear all the back news. They want to hear all the what's going on. But the weather question threw me. The weather question threw me, and I'll tell you why. Is he getting along with the weather? And I talk to my son maybe once a week, maybe less. And he's been living in New York since 2006, and we have never, ever had a conversation about weather. Now, just because I don't talk about the weather and he doesn't talk about the weather doesn't mean other people that is a topic of conversation. So because I resisted the fact that people like to talk about the weather, they're not like me, then I actually felt, I looked at her and I said, we don't talk about the weather. And I had a little energy of annoyance. I'm just being honest. And she looked at me, she says, you don't talk about the weather? I said, no. It's like talking about the sun or the moon or things that you have no control over. The weather is just reality. And she looked at me like, what planet was I from? What do you mean you don't talk about the weather? But it was my resisting that whole question that actually shifted my energy, because not only did I see this is the solution. This is the solution. When somebody, anyone in my life, I can only speak about me, talks about or has a conversation with me that I am totally not interested in, it's not one of my things. It's not what's important to me. Then my job as a physical example of the universe is to listen, accept, and realize that this conversation is important to them. That's what the universe does. The universe listens to everything, the things that I wouldn't even want to listen to, and observes and sees and everything, and it's all okay. All of it. Now, I claim that I want to be a physical example of the universe, and not only do I claim that, that's what I believe my purpose is, my purpose. So the next time I'm invited to a function that I decide to go, my new intention is to accept all conversation just like the universe does. And that was, and because I resisted all night long with all different types of people, with all different types of conversations, I sent a tweet out this morning. I had a spiritual hangover this AM. Let me go to my first caller, area code 252-1 welcome. You are on Live Reality Spirituality. What is your first name?
My name is Keisha.
Hi, Keisha. Welcome to the show. What's going on?
Nothing. I totally feel you. I feel you on that. On the point where you're in a bunch of people, and you have no common grounds with none of them. You just don't have nothing in common. So I know what you're talking about, but I also see the message that I need to be learn how to come down to other people's levels of understanding and have that conversation regardless how I'm feeling about it. So.
Okay, you know what? Thank you for feeling me, honey. Thank you for feeling my, don't tell anybody, pain.
No, I feel like that, and people think, I just posted that yesterday, people think I'm this, they say, oh, she thinks she that. It's like, no, not really. I just like what I like, and I don't really pay attention to what the Joneses is doing over there, and I just get what I like, and I don't hang around certain people because I don't, I just don't see I can't relate. I can't relate to that lifestyle, so why should I force myself to be around that, It's not that I think I'm better, but I just can't relate to that, what's going on. So I'm kind of dealing with that. So now I'm like, well, okay, now that you're saying that now, maybe I need to be a little bit more, just a little bit more compassionate to other human beings around me, no matter where they're coming from in life.
You know what? Let me just jump in because you said a couple of things that I really want to point out. Really good. You said a couple of things. One of the things you said earlier, you said come down to their level. Well, I used to say that and come down to their level, and I'm at a certain level, and they're over there, and I'm over here, and it's really. This is just me. It's really not coming down to their level. It's like looking at the stars and saying that, oh, there's a certain level of stars that is brighter than this one, or this star is better than that one. And I really want to convey that message that, because it's not coming down to the level, it's really accepting all of the differences, accepting every difference, accepting one star is bigger, looks different, is composed of different not ingredients, but whatever you want to call it, whatever stars are composed of, stuff. And then you said something which was really good. You said not hanging out with people that are, I call it compatible energy. Compatible energy. And yes, there was nobody at that party last night that had compatible energy. Well, I can't say nobody, but let me say 99.9. There had to be one person there. Maybe I just didn't talk to them, but maybe not. But the thing is, the avoiding, I can't avoid it. Now, I can make a decision to go to a certain party, but avoiding it, because anything I resist, anything I avoid, I know the universe is going to give me more of, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So the avoiding is, how about just being able to be in that place. Now, I'm not saying I have to choose to be there all the time, but just being able to be in that place or be surrounded by energy that is not compatible and be okay with it for a short period of time. I mean, listen, short period of time could mean 5 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, but the more powerful, for me, the more powerful stance or the more powerful being is to be able to go in and out energy that's compatible, that's not compatible, and still be good and still be okay.
Mhm. Yeah, because I know, because if you stay in there too long, you become drained. I guess that's what you're saying with the
yes.
It drains you. And you just like, and for me, it takes me, I had to sleep it off. I like to sleep stuff off when I become drained because at that point, I become unbalanced, so I had to sleep it off and, to gain my balance back. So, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Let me say this, because I listen. I don't mean to interrupt, because when you make some really good points, I gotta jump in on it, honey. I gotta jump in it. This is such a great point that you made. Becoming drained. I totally get that, and us as humans, I'm human. We're all human. Have that drained need to hibernate. You said sleep. I do that. Sleep. Sometimes I take a shot of tequila too. I'm just saying.
Whatever works for you.
That's right. From time to time it's different things. Sometimes I just need to lock myself in the house and don't answer the phone. Whatever it is. But can you imagine getting to a point, and this is a question for you, can you imagine getting to a point where you're never going to be drained by anything or anybody else? Now, I'm not saying that could happen, but you get more, you're so elevated, you're so powerful. I mean, the universe doesn't get drained, and the universe listens to all this. Hold on, don't listen to all of this bullshit, and the universe is never drained. So do you think, this is a question I'm just asking right out, to my audience and also the people in chat room, that you can get to a point where it's impossible for you to be drained by outside forces?
Yeah, but you had to be at a certain energy level. Like, you got to, I don't know.
I agree. Yeah. And see, that's the key. Mm-hmm. Knowing yourself, and knowing what energy level you are at. And so for whatever reason, my energy was at an energy level where I was affected by. And so what do we do when we know our energy level is like you're open for arrows? Then what do we do? That's the question. What do we do?
Well, this thought came out. You're supposed to pray yourself up, but sometimes you need to kind of commune with other people or other elements that are on that level and stay in constant communication with that, like be in constant meditation somehow with that. Because I remember times where I felt like that, and I could go anywhere, but at those times I was also in a certain state of protectiveness, and I was around a certain group of people who kind of really protected me and watched over me and allowed me to be who I was. And I think through that protectiveness, you are allowed to go and really accept yourself. So maybe there's some form of rejection inside, or you feel like they will not, accept you on the inside. I really don't know, because it's something on the inside that might need to be solidified or something. Something that might be broken and might need to be fixed in order for you.
This is some good stuff now. This is some good stuff. Listen, you said it all. It's all inside. I don't agree with the word fix, because I don't think that there is anything broken, but I do agree that there is a light that can be shined on whatever needs to be addressed or noticed. Let me say this, or or can be, not needs to be, because we need to. I don't even like using that word. Can be addressed or can be looked at. Now, in the chat room, let me just say this. Hi, Alternative Lounge Radio. If we put protection around us, call on Archangel Michael, do spiritual cleansing, try burning some white sage. Yes, and yes. And let me tell you what I do. That sounds great for you, Alternative Lounge Radio. Let me tell you what I do. This just happened this week and then last night. Last night I was just unconscious and I was just floundering. I wasn't, whatever happened, I was just like floundering. But what happened this week was I was under a lot of pressure, a lot of time, stress, deadlines. That's what gets me. And when I get into this mode of deadlines and things have to be done at a certain time, I told you my book is coming out. I mean, there were formatting deadlines, printing deadlines. Oh, it was woof. And I get in my head these
energy.
Yes, editing. This is serious. That's what I had in my head. Oh, this is serious. This is really serious. And when I have that serious energy, it does not feel good at all. It's this big event, deadline, serious. And so what I started to do in the moment, because I was conscious, and just like you said, in the moment, started breathing deeper, and pausing. Breathing deep and pausing. And then that worked for a little bit. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to take myself out of this moment. And in the middle of the deadlines, in the middle of everything happening, I went out to breakfast. And I ate my breakfast really, really slow. I had a deadline that was due 3 minutes ago. So what you said earlier is just, you're so aware. You're so aware. I love that. Self-awareness is one of the top. It's so important because when you are self-aware, you can choose different ways of being. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. I totally agree.
So is there anything that's going on in your life right now that you would like to discuss? I mean, something like, it doesn't even matter. It's just a moment that you have noticed that you have shifted something or?
Right now, I'm kind of working. That's what I'm working on right now with exactly what you're talking about. So kind of going inside and shining a light on all those dark places within me so that I can, that's what I'm working on, it seems like. So I can get out of this negative position that I am in. And, because instead of trying to change everything around me, trying to get more friends, so I'm kind of going inside and kind of saying, well, no, this is what I need to do, doing my inner work, healing my inner child, to raise my vibration so that I can embrace everybody on, wherever you're at. I'm able to find some kind of common ground, I guess, accept it, and and it's a process. It's a growing process, and it's not going to be an overnight thing for me. So I'm just, just really, really, I'm working on it. That's all I can say. I'm a work in progress. What can I say?
Okay, and we're going to have another caller that wants to talk live, and we're going to go to that other caller in about a minute. But what I want to say to you, because I hear what you're saying, and you sound like me a couple of years ago. And I want to say this because I was so critical, when I say critical, of myself. I want you, Keisha, right?
Yeah.
I want you, my dear Keisha, to, number one, know and believe that there is nothing wrong with you or your inner child or any of that other stuff. There is nothing wrong. You are not negative. Mm-hmm. What you think you are is not. In other words, if you think that you need to improve or do something or no. There are two entities. There are two entities that have a voice in my life. One of them is the universal voice. Is the universal energy. And the other one is my ego. And when I say ego, I'm not saying, oh, I hate on my ego. No, ego's bad. No. But the ego has a function. And the ego has a few functions. Now, one of the functions is, this is my opinion, is to make sure that I feel bad about myself for as long as possible, for as many times as possible throughout the day. So it all depends, because honestly, the universe does not think you're negative, honey. The universe does not think you need to shine on anything and fix anything. The universe doesn't think there's anything wrong with your energy. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it all depends on what voice you're listening to. Mm-hmm. So it's just a shift in which voice you pay attention to. Now, my ego is so persistent in its message. You could be doing more. Why didn't you? And you, even last night, even the sharing my story of resisting last night. Mm-hmm. I don't feel bad about any of it. I don't feel bad about what happened. It's just what happened. So I just want you to let's start giving some more love to this dear wonderful person who is evolving exactly in the right amount of time. You can't plant an award-winning rose bush and then plant the seed and then stand over and say, grow, 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 grow. You're perfect, honey. You're perfect. That's what I see.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I'm just saying. So hold on a second. We're going to go to another Alternative Lounge Radio. Alternative Lounge Radio, do you have a name?
Yes, I do. It's Joe.
What is it?
It's Joe.
What?
Joe.
Oh, hi, Joe. What's up?
Not much. Just chilling, agreeing with a lot of things.
Okay, what do you have to, you said you had something you wanted to share. What is it?
All right. So when you feel overwhelmed, there is a meditation that I came up with where they visualize a giant dumpster and put that situation into the dumpster. And whatever feelings, whatever situation, put it into the dumpster, close it, lock it, push it off the screen. And that will actually open up and remove any hostile energies, like any toxic energies to the self. Even though we're all perfect, there is a constant balance that we need to find within ourselves.
Okay, so let's do this, Joe. Give me an example of what's happened in your life. This is reality spirituality. And let's get really, really specific. What happened to you, and how did you have to shift your energy?
Being portrayed by somebody, and then
What did you say?
Being portrayed by somebody.
Mm.
I had a friend that I thought was a true friend. He ended up betraying me, stealing my other true friend, and I had to be the greater person because I was being accused of doing harm to them when I wasn't.
Okay, you're saying that somebody betrayed you?
Mhm.
That sounds really human to me, honey. Betrayed. No one can betray you.
Well, I mean, like, in that sense. In a human sense, yes. But, in a spiritual sense, it was more like they were sending out ill thoughts to me as well.
Okay, well, I'm going to put my 2 cents in because there is nobody in my life, human, that can affect my vibration, send me up or send me down. Nobody has that power. Nobody has the power to betray me. Nobody has the power to disappoint me. Nobody has the power to make me sad. Nobody has the power to make me angry. Nobody has the power to make me happy. Nobody has the power to make me anything. Nobody has that power. Now, I can choose, and in fact, you know what's so perfect about this conversation, and thank you so much, so perfect about this point that you're making, and I'm saying this with everything that I have. Which I talked about the conference that I'm going to be speaking at. One of my speeches is called The Blame Game. What?
Yes, definitely. United States
so
of America.
I cannot blame anybody for anything. I cannot look at anyone. In other words, my pointer finger, the pointer finger, the one you have, what is it? Is it the index finger? Is that what it's called, the pointer?
I believe so.
My pointer finger is broken.
Ooh.
I can't use it. I can't use it for the weather. I can't use it for circumstances. I can't use it for other people. I can't use a pointer to blame. I cannot use my pointer finger for any reason to affect my vibration, including what I talked about earlier, feeling this stressful energy, feeling the deadline, feeling intense or frantic. I can't even blame the situation for my vibration. I can pretend it was because I had deadlines. I can pretend it was because I had too many things. I can pretend all that affected me. But just like Keisha said earlier, which is perfect, which is exactly true, I can feel what level my vibration is on. And if I am vibrating universe, if I'm vibrating the same frequency as the universe, there is nothing, deadlines, resisting, other people, there's nothing that's going to affect it.
Right.
What do you think? What do you think about what?
That leads into the concept of law of 3 and law of attraction.
Yes.
And I actually was taught that a long time ago, and I put that on the back burner, and now I can see how my life played out when things didn't go so well. So that was an insight for me.
Don't you? I just love my reality spirituality audience. I love my audience because, number one, you all are so open to sharing. You all are so truthful. I don't tell anybody, but truth turns me on. I love it when people just tell the truth. I love it. And that's what this show is about, telling the truth. And thank you for that, Joe. Yeah, this life is really, really interesting. You said something earlier in the chat room, Joe. You said something about shadow, ego's a shadow. We can call it whatever we want to call it. But let me say this. This is what I do with my ego, and this is for you too, Keisha. This is what I do for my ego. Instead of hating on it and thinking that there's something wrong with it, I visualize, talking about visualizing, I visualize this ego is on a stage. It's on a stage, and I'm in the audience. Now, this ego is there to entertain me. This ego is there to actually make me laugh. Oh, really, ego? I'm supposed to feel bad about not writing an article this week? You got anything else? In other words, there really are head games, games that you play so that I like to do it with humor. I'm a humor person. I like to find the humor in whatever it is, in the quote-unquote disaster, the circumstance. And then, like I tweeted this morning, spent the whole night resisting, and now I have a spiritual hangover. I don't know, but that's funny. I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. And also, I just forgot what I was saying, and then it briefly popped back in where it's like not only the law of attraction, but I also forgot a lot of knowledge that you're holding in your own power. And so when I keep on hearing that, I'm just like, you know what? I am my own vessel. I am. And I think that's a very powerful mantra to use. I am, and then state what you are.
Yes, I agree. Totally, I agree. Let me throw this in, too, because this is one of the things that I teach on Reality Spirituality. Because my specialty is happiness. I don't know if you know that, but it is happiness. Number one, anytime that I include anybody in my formula for being happy, it ain't going to work. Anytime someone else, and like you said, your friends betrayed you, when you have anybody else in your head that it's them, or I don't care if it's a child, a husband, a mother, a father, a friend, anytime anyone else is in your equation for happiness, you can count that happiness formula is going to blow up in your face.
Yeah. Karma.
So, anything else you'd like to? I really appreciate you calling Keisha. You got anything else, honey?
No, I'm just listening at this point.
So I think that this everything that we brought up earlier, from Keisha's point to Joe's point to what I was saying, how important is all of this? Listen, we're all here
on the journey.
To grow, for the journey, and to grow and evolve and have fun with it. Let's start having fun with this as opposed to taking it all so seriously. Let's start lightening up. Let's start relaxing. And one of the things that I had to let go of to increase the happiness in my life is this time. The universe doesn't wear a watch.
Yeah.
This is not our first life here. We are energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. We are here, and we are not going away. I mean, our physical bodies might go away, but the energy and essence of who we are is not going away. I don't know if you've had anybody in your life that has died. My father died in 2008, and I can talk to him. I could feel his energy. I can feel his energy.
His energy is very strong. I can feel him also. I'm not sure if it's just his energy mixed with your energy, but it's so much energy that it's just like a vortex of energy coming out of through the phone, through my whole body, and just radiating outwards.
Ooh! Now I'm getting chills. You feel the energy, Keisha? You feel it, honey? You feel it?
I feel it.
Keisha, I want you to call back, and I want you to talk to me anytime. And I also want you to start looking in the mirror and start loving that person and accepting that person in the mirror. There is nothing you need to do. There is nothing you need to change. All it is realizing how you are. The universe has chosen you, Keisha, has chosen you to bloom. You are blooming, and you always have been blooming, and you will always bloom. And you are an award-winning, gorgeous, beautiful flower, rainbow, sunset. That's all of you.
Sorry to cut in, but I got a message for her, actually.
Wait! You're cutting in the middle of. I'm up here crying now, and you're cutting in. Okay, cut in.
Nah, it's just a very well. The message that was being played is that remind her to say, "I am all that I am," and then also remind her when she looks in the mirror, radiate light out, hitting the mirror and back into herself.
I like it. I love it. And you know what? Just start adding to what you say. And it's really simple. I love who you are in the mirror. I love who you are. I love who you're becoming. I love who you are. I love who you're becoming. Done. Simple. I like easy. I like simple. I don't like any big traditions. I don't want to start a bonfire. I don't need to meditate for an hour. I don't need to do any of that crap. I love who I am, and this is the other thing. This is the other thing I do. Every morning, listen, this stuff takes 1 minute, 2 minutes. Every morning I go outside before the sun comes up, and I raise my arms up, and I just ask the universe. I say, universe, give me my day. Universe, give me my day. And not only that, ask a question, which is, because whenever you ask a question, it's always answered. So the question is, hey, how can I feel, no, that's not a good question. That's not even a question. I'm trying to come up with a good one. Keisha, come up with what you want to know. Come up with a question. Come up with what you would like the universe to do for you. Let's do it right now. I'm going to let you do it. Why am I butting in your business? Go for it, Keisha.
A question? Like how am I supposed to like for the universe? The basic question would be, why am I here? What put me in a position where I'm at now? What are the lessons? That's basically it. Like, how did I fall from grace with God? What put me in such a damned situation as I am right now? And I often wonder about that from the universe, like, gosh. But at the same time, it might not even be none of that. It might be just I'm in training. So I don't know. I just, those are some of the questions that go through my mind, So, yeah.
I love that. I love that in training. Of course, we're all in training. How about this one? How about this question? I don't know if this feels right. How can I feel better about everything? How can I feel better about everything? And just let it go, because the universe is always in charge of how. How can I feel better about everything, about my life, about where I am, about why I'm here? How can I feel better? This is a question I always ask, too. What else is possible? How can I feel better? And there you go. You like it?
Yeah.
Unconditional love.
Well, how do you attain that? Because then you still have to go through your self-work, your work, to get to that position where you can love unconditionally.
This sounds like it's going to have to be a part 2, doesn't it? How do you get to your self-worth? That's so interesting. That was such a big issue with me, feeling worthy and valuing myself, self-acceptance. How can you get to self-acceptance? How self-worth is accepting it all.
Yes, and I learned that the hard way. The more I resisted, the worse it got.
Who doesn't learn this shit the hard way? The universe, listen, all their lessons are the hard way.
Yeah. I remember when my guru told me that and was teaching the law of attraction. I was just like, yes, and then I was in Barnes & Noble's 2 weeks later, and a book fell off the shelf. What book title was it? The Law of Attraction.
Well, listen, this book is going to be the book that's going to fall off the shelf. It's going to be Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness. Now, you have to promise me to get this book because this book is also going to fall off the shelf. Okay?
Definitely. Archangel Metatron for creative writing.
Okay. You know what? We are coming to the end of the hour, which I cannot even believe. I want to thank all of my listeners, all of my audience. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Keisha. Keisha, I really want to say something to you. And what I want to say is, it's this, love, yeah, let's unconditional love, yeah. But it's really accepting it all. Accepting that the universe, there are no mistakes, and you are here for a reason. And guess what? That's not for you to even have to figure it out. It will, to figure out the reason. The thing is just to accept it all, and accept it all, and know that everything, and I mean everything that has happened and is happening is for your growth and for your good and for your betterment. Everything. The universe doesn't make mistakes, even if it's just to teach others. I don't know, but please give me a call again, please. I loved the conversation. I loved your honesty. And you too, Joe. You guys are just, my audience is the best. Reality Spirituality is heard every Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m. I want to thank you all for listening. And if you want more information on the coaching programs I offer, you can visit my website at RebeccaNorrington.com. Go to the private sessions tab. If you want to receive my free monthly newsletter, which is coming out tomorrow. The newsletter is coming out tomorrow. Sorry about that. I didn't warm up my voice. I really do have a nice voice. Let's see. Tomorrow. No, I won't even try it. info@RebeccaNorrington.com. Email me at info@RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on Twitter at RLNorrington. If you've enjoyed the show, which I know you have, go to Facebook and like Reality Spirituality's Facebook page. My dear audience, I want you all to remember who the hell you are. You, Keisha, you, Joe, you extensions of the universe. You're always growing. You're always changing. Love is patient, and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. Let's connect again next week. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Reality Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality Spirituality. Yeah, time to get some answers, baby. Oh, now we get real. Yeah, time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now.